The picturesque town of Conwy was founded by the English King Edward I in 1283 as one of a chain of fortified towns in the then newly invaded North Wales. He built a castle and city walls, and the town sprung up after that. Hi, this is Andy Teach, host of Andy's Awesome Adventures, and welcome to Conwy, Wales. My number one reason for visiting Conwy was to see one of the best preserved castles in Britain, the Conwy Castle, and you can see my Conwy Castle video by clicking on the link at the end of this video. The Conwy Suspension Bridge in the middle was built in 1826, and the bridge we're driving on was built in 1958. The town itself is fun to explore. It's small, so it's easy to get around, it features a few historic buildings, and there's plenty of restaurants and shops. By the way, the town is small enough so that when you go to the train station and want to catch the train, you have to actually wave at the conductor as the train is approaching so that they'll stop for you. I didn't want to take the chance that the conductor wouldn't see us, so we took a taxi across the bridge and caught the train there. So here we are in Conwy, Wales. Down there is the water, and there is our hotel, the Castle Hotel. Which looks like a castle, but I believe it's an historic building. Here's some history of the Castle Hotel. In 1832, hosts Samuel and Cordelia Owen served lunch to the heir apparent to the throne, 13-year-old Princess Victoria. Together with her mother, the Duchess of Kent, she was on a day trip to the town as part of an extended summer visit to North Wales. Sarah Dutton owned the hotel from the late 1860s until her death at age 84 in 1920. In the 1890s, she commissioned the famous Chester architect John Douglas to create a new facade for the building in the neo-Jacobean style we see today. We were very fortunate that just across the street from the Castle Hotel was a great ice cream shop called Paracella's Ice Cream Parlor. They have been serving ice cream here for centuries. Well, actually since 2015. A little more of Conwy, colorful fish and chip shop. Looking from the castle, on the right you can see the Georgian Dragon and the Blue Bell. The Georgian Dragon is an inn and has a pub. The Blue Bell is a pub, and this building was erected in 1935 on the site of another inn of the same name. A building has been on this site since at least the 18th century. The Erskine Arms is a few blocks away. It's an inn and has a pub, and we had a great meal here. The building in its current form was created during Victorian times by a combination of an old Georgian inn and a traditional 17th century sailmaker's cottage. Here is one of the historic buildings in Conwy, the Conwy Guildhall. A civic building has stood here since the 13th century. In 1613, a market hall was built here. In the early 19th century, a national school was established here for poor children to receive basic education. The current Guildhall was completed in 1863. Enlargement in 1925 created the present-day entrance with its elaborate carved stonework. From the 1860s, the Guildhall was the polling station for several local parishes. It was also the venue for the local petty sessions, where wrongdoers were tried by magistrates. Since 1974, the Guildhall has been home to the Conwy Town Council. This bakery looks pretty good, I gotta say.
Oh.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby again.
I'm gonna get a scone.
Speaking of food, we experienced a British tradition in Conwy, afternoon tea at Anna's Tea Rooms, which is next to the Blue Bell that you saw earlier. Here is another tea house, the Penna Bryn Tea House and Rooms, which resides inside a 16th century building. Here we can see one of the city walls. Although we didn't have the time, you can climb to the top of the various city walls and get a great view of the town. We're now at the Conwy Quay, which overlooks the River Conwy. Although we can't see it here, further down on the left is the Quay House, a red house that is the smallest house in Britain. There's the castle. So we're sitting in Lancaster Square in Conwy, Wales. Not much going on here, but you can see that, let's see, you can't really see the castle from here, but that Bank of Conwy, I don't think it's a real bank, I think it's a pub. Restaurants, police station, and we're just gonna hang in this little square and relax. It is now 9 p.m. It doesn't get dark till about 9:40, and the summertime it gets dark about 11. The tower in the background belongs to St. Mary's and All Saints Church. The foundations of the church date back to 1172, and the tower was completed in the 15th century. Even though Conwy was once an English garrison town, and many of the street names are still in English, this is a monument to the Welsh prince Llewellyn the Great, who ruled over Wales. It was painted in his heritage colors. The writing on the fountain says that Llewellyn founded Aberconwy Abbey in 1186. Some even say that Llewellyn founded the town himself. The bronze statue was created by a man named E.O. Griffith in 1898 and was commemorated to introduce the town's water supply.